Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this webinar with the title Health Funding Opportunities in Horizon 2020. My name is Cornelia Spiecher, and I am Scientific Advisor for Health at Euresearch at the head office in Bern. Today's presentation will be split into three sections. First, I will say a few words on the setup of the webinar. Then I will talk about Euresearch and about the current situation of Switzerland. In a second part, my colleague Sascha Hubentobler, who is National Contact Point for Health, will speak about the Horizon 2020 program, about open health calls and health-related topics, and about other health-related funding programs, followed by useful links and contacts. The third part of the webinar will consist in us answering your questions. This webinar will be recorded and it will be made available on the Euresearch YouTube channel. In addition, we will send the presentation to all registered participants of this webinar via email. This email will also contain the link to the YouTube channel. This slide gives you an overview of the webinar. In the big window, you can see the slides of the presentation. In the top right-hand corner, you can see the image of the speaker, and just below, you can find the chat window. There, you can type any questions you have during the webinar. We will be collecting all the questions, and at the end of the webinar, we will answer them. Euresearch is an information center which aims to support researchers at Swiss institutes. It consists of a network of 10 regional offices covering all regions of Switzerland. At our regional offices sit the generalists who are there to help you in any administrative, legal, and financial matters. Then we have a head office in Bern where the specialists of the different programs are, and they support you with scientific and strategic advices. Then we have a partner office in Brussels called Swisscore, where the lobbyists are. We offer a huge range of services to our customers. In principle, we inform and advise our customers with regards to the European research and innovation arena. If you want to be updated on all relevant information and calls, we highly advise that you register to our website. On this slide, you can see a screenshot of our website, www.euresearch.ch. On the right-hand corner, you can see a subscribe button. If you click on there, you can generate a profile. You can choose disciplines and all European programs you're interested in. The more precise you choose the keywords, the more targeted the information will be that you receive from us. You can also follow us via social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Now a few words to the current situation of Switzerland. The most important message is Switzerland can participate in Horizon 2020. As of September 2014 until the end of 2016, Switzerland is partially associated to Horizon 2020. So what does this mean? This means that in some programs, Switzerland is considered an EU-associated country. This is indicated in this diagram here with a green check sign. This mostly affects all the programs in the excellent science pillar on the left-hand side. In other programs, we have the status of industrialized third country as indicated by a red check sign. This means that partners in Switzerland can apply for funding, and if they are evaluated positively by the European Commission, they get directly paid by the Swiss government. In other programs, we cannot participate at all. This is indicated by a red circle. This is, for example, the case for access to risk finance and for innovation in SMEs. So who is funded by direct payments of Swiss partners in health collaborative projects? It's academic and non-academic research institutions in Switzerland, and it's companies based in Switzerland. Please note that under certain conditions, coordinators in Switzerland and SMEs in Switzerland participating for the first time in Horizon 2020 can apply for extra 8,000 Swiss francs. So what should you do if you were successfully evaluated in a Horizon 2020 call? You should sign the grant agreement, and then you should register to the direct payment site www.h2020.ch to apply for funding of the Swiss partner. Your application will be pre-screened by Euresearch. It will then be evaluated by the State Secretariat of Education, Research and Innovation, and ideally you will get the final okay from the State Secretariat. For more information, please consult www.h2020.ch. Also, please contact your nearest Euresearch regional office as early as possible. Now, I would like to hand over to my colleague, Sascha Hugentobler.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I have now the pleasure to present the second part of this presentation to you, to give you an overview on Horizon and where funding for health ICT and life science research is available. On the first slide, we will firstly look at the entire Horizon structure. Horizon is the biggest part of public funding, and this over 70 billion euros can be roughly put into three different pillars. We have the excellent science pillar, the industrial leadership pillar, and the societal challenges pillar. Research funding for health, life sciences, and ICT health research can be achieved in all three pillars. Under the excellent science, most funding that is available under this pillar is for individual researchers, scientists. There, the topics are not predefined, and there has been an excellent webinar given 3 days ago that's online and that you can visit for further information on the 4 programs under the excellent science. The second pillar, industrial leadership, has a program enabling industrial technologies that has some topics at present, some nanotechnology health topics that may be of interest to some of you. There will be a slide later on this open call. And the focus of this second part of the presentation will be on the societal challenges, mainly on the first program, the program Health, Demographic Change and Well-being, which is the largest of the societal challenges with a budget of 6.8 billion, of which 1.2 billion has been in the 2014 and 2015 work program, which means there has been 4 deadlines already that are closed, and a lot of the 34 topics that were in this work program are closed. At the moment, there is 14 topics open with a substantial budget left from this 1.2 billion that you can submit proposals to. The next few slides will give you information in detail on these funding possibilities. Before I continue, I may just add that this presentation, together with the link to the video, will be sent to you by follow-up mail, so you will have all this information. But now back to the societal challenges. Why this strange terminology? What does it mean, and what does it really mean for you as scientists who may want to submit a proposal? The reason why Horizon is so large is, and why the budget could be increased so much, is because it addresses societal problems, societal issues and concerns that address all of us. The societal challenge health addresses global and societal challenges and concerns that are relevant to all of us. And in that way, it addresses political priorities of the European Union. As an example, Europe is the oldest population. The aging becomes an issue that becomes very cost heavy for the economies in Europe. And that's why you will find a lot of the topics that address aging, living of the elderly, and how to deal with the concerns of the society in regards of aging. This means that the consortia that submit proposals, that the successful proposals have to be multidisciplinary, collaborative research and innovation projects where different experts work together. The basic rule is in all these societal challenge programs and now today on the health is that the European Commission has identified the problem, has for example identified that aging may become a problem in Europe if we don't find solutions. The topics in an open work program are the translated problems. They really look for the best solution. You have to submit the best solution to the predefined problem, to the predefined topic. So it means you provide together with your international consortium of experts the best solution to the identified problem. And it also means you can only submit a proposal to a challenge in an open call. And this may mean that some of you today listen to this webinar and you will realize that there is no funding available for your research area. This does not mean that Horizon is not for you. This just means that this open call is not for you. And the next open health call will certainly have different focus areas where funding will be allocated to. But why are you interested, or why may you be interested to participate? Perhaps you would like to finance a project. Perhaps you may want to keep researchers in your institute or hire new ones. Or you aim at improving your international network or strengthen interdisciplinary collaboration. All reasons are your project has to fit the expectations of the European Commission. What does that mean? If you have a project idea, it has to fit into an open topic in an open call in a work program. And your proposal has to answer the 3 priorities of the European Commission, which has a very strong focus on a smart growth, a sustainable growth, and an inclusive growth. In practical terms, this means if you write a proposal and you can prove, for example, that you can sustain jobs or even create jobs, then you have fulfilled some of these EU priorities. Now to the open health calls. The open health calls, as I mentioned, the topics can be found in the work program. What does this terminology, this word work program mean? The formal document of the European Commission is the work program that sets out the research objectives and the topics of a specific thematic program like the health program that you can submit an application for. It does not only list the topics, it also gives you information on the deadlines by when the proposal has to be submitted. It gives you information on the budget, what the budget should be about for each topic. There is no more funding limits for the health topics. Some programs have limits. The Health Societal Challenge does not, but it gives you an indication how large the project is expected to be from the Commission. In other words, the budget that's indicated gives you an indication of the size of the project that's expected. It also gives you information on the evaluation procedure, on the evaluation how your proposal is being evaluated, and very often in a topic description you can find information that gives clear indication what expertise is required and needed in the consortia, in the group of scientists that submit a proposal together. The publications of the work programs are in Horizon biannual, meaning there is a work program for 2 years with different deadlines. Now we are talking about the work program 2014-2015, which is in abbreviation PHC. That's in the start of each topic description. You find this PHC, which just means personalizing health and care, which is the focus of this call. The last deadline of this work program is on the 21st of April, and the deadline is exactly at 5 o'clock sharp in Brussels time, our time. The publication of the next work program 2016 and 17 can be expected over the summer. We know that there will be an info day in September at the Commission in Brussels with a brokerage event to find partners also for this call. And we know that some of the areas may be aging at large, personalized medicine, ICT for health, population health and health promotion, infectious diseases, early development, sustainable health and care systems, environment and health challenge. The focus areas of this open health call at the moment are the following: understanding health, well-being and diseases, preventing disease, treating and managing disease, active aging and self-management of health, methods and data, healthcare provision and integrated care. And you will see from the topics that I present in a minute that most topics that are still open are in the last 3 focus areas. The open health call with the deadline at the end 24th of February has these 3 topics: vaccine development for poverty-related and neglected infectious diseases, HIV/AIDS, clinical research on regenerative medicine, and the largest project of this call, new approaches to improve predictive human safety testing. Then there is another call within this work program, which has a deadline on the 21st of April. There are mainly ICT topics: ICT health, advancing active and healthy aging with ICT, early risk detection and intervention, advanced ICT systems and services for integrated care, self-management of health and disease and patient empowerment supported by ICT, self-management of health and disease and decision support systems based on predictive computer modeling used by the patient, him or herself. I skipped the next one because Switzerland as a third party is not eligible. And the last one, digital representation of health data to improve disease diagnosis and treatment. Reading these titles, they are very much focused on ICT health. ICT has given a large budget for these topics, and these topics have to be truly multidisciplinary between health scientists and ICT scientists, and the consortia have to be built up in that way. So if one of you find, or some of you find topics of interest on this slide, please consult the work program, read the entire topic description, and make sure that you understand the entire topic description represent the requirement, the predefined problem from the European Commission that you have to fulfill. If you are unsure whether you fit into one of these topics, please contact us. We are here to support you in this process. Then there is another call deadline on the 24th of February. That's the one with the least interest in the scientific community because it's coordination activities. What does that mean? This means that these projects do not finance research activities. They only finance activities that support research. So the first one is Global Alliance for Chronic Diseases, Prevention and Treatment of Lung Diseases. The last one is towards sustainability and globalization of the Joint Programming Initiative on Neurodegenerative Diseases, which is a joint programming where the Swiss National Science Foundation from Switzerland is an active partner in. The other 3 you can see, they're called ERA nets. They are really targeted to the national funding agencies and not to the scientific community. If the national funding agency decides to participate in an ERANET, they submit one together with other national funding agencies, and then in a few years later, in a few years down the line, there will be calls where you can submit proposals. But where do you find all these research topics if you don't have access to the work program or if you don't know how to find it? The most important website for Horizon funding is the participant portal. Under the participant portal, you have one web page where you can find with free text search the open topics in open calls in your research field. So for example, this shows you when you search with gene therapy, you find a whole selection of topics that may be open or closed. You have to check the deadline in different calls with this research fund, where research funding applies to gene therapy. How do you find the consortium? A consortium is made of minimum 3 partners from 3 European member states or European associated countries, like Switzerland was until February last year. Now we are an industrialized third country, meaning that we are, in addition to the minimum 3 partners, Switzerland can be 4th or 5th or 6th partners. And as you have heard at the start of the presentation, our funding is secured from the national funding. How do you find partners? For the Health Societal Challenge Health, there is a website, there is a consortium that's funded by the European Commission, which has the website fitforhealth.eu. There you can really look on each specific topic in an open health call, who else is looking for partners in that topic. And a very good and very useful website is the Cordis Europe project database. The Cordis project database gives a list of all running projects in the past and currently, which means you can see who is coordinating projects in your field and who may participate again, who may be potential partners for you in the future. But this is all good. You also need to know on which evaluation criteria your proposal is looked at. And to most of you, it's clear excellence. Scientific excellence is a must. But this is not sufficient because there are 3 evaluation criteria and the first 2 are equally important. It's the excellence and the impact, where you can score a max of 5 points, but you have to reach a 4 in order to be eligible. There is 2 different types of proposals, and they're also predefined in the work program. The single-stage proposal, where you submit all the information in one go, or the 2-stage proposal, where you submit 7 pages, a summary of what you want to do, and if you are successful, you are being invited to submit the full proposal. In both of these approaches, the competition is tough, and you can see you need a total of 12 or a total in the single stage of 8, but this is not sufficient. There has been proposals with 13 points that could not be financed, so you have to reach a high score. And again, Euresearch is here to support you, here to give you feedback, here to look at your proposal or listen to your project idea and try to assist you how to better fit it to the work program. The award criteria, I let you read this in your own time, what exactly is being evaluated. Under excellence, it's the groundbreaking nature, it's the transdisciplinary approach, it's the level of ambition and how much you go beyond the state of the art. The impact is the more difficult or trickier part for most of the applicants. There you address the expected impacts listed in the work program under the relevant topic. And they can be very broad and very non-scientific, and that can be difficult. So please consult us if you wish advice there. There, it's also under impact, it's looked at how to enhance innovation capacity and integration of new knowledge, effectiveness of the proposed measures to communicate the project. Quality and efficiency of implementation then looks at how the project is going to be run, how the coordinator and the consortium work together, and some other points that you can read in your own time. As I said, there is funding available for health research in all 3 pillars. So now I would like to show you in the middle pillar, in the key enabling technologies, in the nanotechnology advanced materials, there is 2 topics that are open at the moment. It's nanomedicine therapy for cancer and biomaterials for treatment and prevention of Alzheimer's disease, both with a deadline at the end of March. If you wish more information on these 2 topics, please consult my colleague Marion Tobler. The same goes for the societal challenge, food security, sustainable agriculture and forestry, marine and maritime and inland water research, and the bioeconomy. There is 4 topics open. One is an RNA, but the other one tackling malnutrition in the elderly, and the last one metagenomics as innovation driver may be of interest to some of you. But just as a comment, tackling malnutrition in the elderly, there the focus is not on the health of the elderly, the focus is on the nutrition part because it's in the food program. However, if you wish more information on these topics, please contact my colleague Gerhard Gass. Now we are coming soon to an end, but Horizon also co-funds other EU health-related funding programs, some of which Switzerland is fully eligible. And I would like to show you just these 3 programs and who is the national contact person or who is the expert for these programs in Switzerland. We are talking about the Innovative Medicines Initiative 2, the Ambient Assisted Living, and the EDCTP2 European and Developing Countries Clinical Trials Partnership. What is Innovative Medicines Initiative? This is a public-private partnership between the European Union and FPA. FPA is the European Federation of Pharmaceutical Industries and Associations. That's the 200 largest pharma companies that in Europe, like Roche, Novartis, and others. The goal is to provide faster access to better medicines through identifying promising drug candidates with greater certainty at an earlier stage. There's 2 calls open. Call 3 with a deadline in March, and call 4, which is coordination actions, again doesn't fund research activities, with a deadline mid-February. The rules for participation for research and innovation actions, the consortium must comprise at least 3 legal entities, of which none are FPA partners. They join the consortium at a later stage. These 3 legal entities must be from EU member states or Horizon associated countries. And again, Switzerland will be number 4 or can be number 4 as a third country. And also for this, funding should be available from the Swiss side. The call 3 is open, and the 6 topics are: one is on the central nervous system, unipolar depression, MS, and epilepsy. The second one is on pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes. The third one is neuropsychiatry and neurobiology. The fourth one is on vaccine manufacture. The fifth one is on pertussis vaccination. And the sixth one is on knowledge repository to enable patient-focused medicine development. For further information on these topics, which all have detailed descriptions of what's required in the topics, please follow the link. Call 4 is, as I mentioned, a coordination action on enabling platform on medicines adaptive pathway to patients. To the next program, Ambient Assisted Living. AAL in short supports close to market, demand-driven research and development projects selected from regularly published calls for proposals. The goal is to enhance the quality of life of older people and strengthen the industrial base in Europe through the use of ICT. The rules for participation: consortium consists of at least 3 partners from 3 different AL partner states, and here Switzerland is an AL partner state. The consortium has to include at least 1 small-medium enterprise and 1 end-user organization. The call for proposal will be launched at the end of February with a deadline at the end of May, and the call focus is living active and independently at home. Now we come to the very last one, the European Developing Countries Clinical Trial Partnership. This is a very long name, in short, EDCTP. EDCTP2, actually, it just started, numbered EDCTP2. The aim is to accelerate the development of new or improved drugs, vaccines, and microbiocides against HIV, AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis, with a focus on clinical trials in phase 1 and 2 and 3. And each consortia has to have partners from sub-Saharan Africa on board. Here we cannot give you more information at the moment. Switzerland aims to be partner again, as they were in EDCTP1, and negotiations are ongoing. This summarizes the EU funding pot for health research that scientists working in Switzerland can apply for. On the following slide, you can find useful links and contact information that you can read in your own time. The contact information from all 3 of us who work in this area at Euresearch are here on this slide. And now questions and answers are more discussion. Maybe I repeat the question that we got. Do we get the slides? Yes, you will get the slides by follow-up mail, and you also will receive the link to the video. My specific field of interest is the combination of health and food consumption, how to identify suitable topics and partners. That depends which approach you take. If you are more interested in the health approach, you find the topics in the health work program. If it's in the food, then it's in the food program. So I would just search with the open topic search, and you will get all the topics in all the calls that may be relevant for you. How to identify suitable partners? Go on the Cordis project database and see what has been financed so far and how the consortia and consortia constellations looked like. You will find interesting partners there. There is a question here on the slide, how to find partners. I mentioned that you could find who is involved in projects when you search for on the Cordis project database. On the Cordis project database, you find the name of the institutions in running projects. However, on the Cordis project database, you find information on each running project or past project. If you find a project that's in your area of research, you may want to visit the project website. Each project has a website, and if you visit that website, which is a link on the Cordis project database, you will find the names of the scientists that are actually working in the project. With regard to IMI2, the question is to repeat the eligible partnerships. Okay, so IMI has an approach of a two-stage, it's a two-stage submission. The calls are open. You are asked to submit a proposal with a consortia of public partners, meaning partners from hospitals, universities, University of Applied Sciences, all partners that are non-FPR, non-large pharma industry. You submit that consortia, that proposal. If you are eligible, there is only one proposal being selected per topic, and then you are invited to submit a full proposal together with your FPR partners. That will only be visible in the second part. Switzerland is eligible to participate in IMI2. We are a third country. We are eligible to participate, and the funding should be available from the Swiss government. There we have a question. When applying for direct payment from the SERI, once grant is signed, is there a risk of not getting it? The SERI has on their own website. No, on the reasons for non-funding by the Swiss states could be Swiss SME performs most of the work outside of Switzerland, or if the partner is a federal institute. There different guidelines apply. These are two examples. If you have a specific case, please contact us and we can try to find the information for you.
Here we have a question which goes as follows. Are non-communicable diseases such as diabetes and cardiovascular diseases part of call PHC9? The answer is no. The call PHC9 is for vaccine development in HIV and AIDS. The next question is, USA partners can take part in Health Horizon 2020. How are they considered for funding? Partners from the US have a bilateral agreement with Horizon 2020, and they do get funding. Please note that the US does not count towards the minimum rule of 3.
There is a question whether you can contact us for a new vision of e-health and nutrition. You can contact us. I have to say any information that probably a lot of you expected in this webinar on the future calls is not available yet. So we will have information on future calls in health and what focus areas certainly will be funded towards the summer.
We're waiting for last questions. There are no more last questions. In this case, we would like to thank you all for participating at this webinar, and we wish you a nice day, and you'll get a follow-up email from us. Goodbye.